Welcome TimeBeat Breaking News channel. Here are our breaking news today.
1. Los Angeles expected to close Echo Park Lake to remove homeless encampments. 2. This is a working-class city as the race for mayor of New York City heats up. Eric Adams blows rival Andrew Yang. Los Angeles expected to close Echo Park Lake to remove homeless encampments. Nestled in a sprawl of greenery, Echo Park Lake has become one of the city's largest homeless encampments, testing whether a popular public park could be divided between daytime visitors strolling and swan boating and all-night campers making their homes in dozens of tents. Make that scores of tents. At its peak, there were 174 in the encampment. Although all parks in Los Angeles have nighttime curfews and rules against camping, city authorities, understandably, did not enforce those rules last year in Echo Park as a pandemic raged and the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warned against moving homeless people. According to the CDC, such displacement increased their risk of getting COVID-19 unless the city could offer something safer than group shelter. But lately, the park has become the battleground pitting advocates for homeless people, who point out that there isn't enough shelter and housing for the city's estimated 41,000 homeless, against community residents fed up with the trash and the loss of park space. Other community residents, including the president of the Echo Park Neighborhood Council, are frustrated that the city hasn't done enough to help house the homeless people who sought refuge in the park. LA City Councilman Mitch O'Farrell, whose district includes the lake, has been promising for weeks that he would find interim housing for the tent dwellers, then close the park to everyone for repairs. In a recent interview with The Times, he did not say specifically what would happen to people who refuse to leave the park. Meanwhile, city officials have been loath to say when exactly the park will be closed, fearing a confrontation with protesters who support letting homeless people stay, and who recently have been gathering in the park in numbers far larger than the homeless people there. This entire situation is a grim reminder that homelessness is an extraordinarily complicated issue. The need for permanent housing and for counseling is desperate in this city and county. And if Los Angeles doesn't get a grip on it soon, other people will find more spots in the city's grassy parks.
This is a working-class city as the race for mayor of New York City heats up. Eric Adams blows rival Andrew Yang. Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, who appeared in Queens with DC 37 Executive Director Henry Garrido on Wednesday, took aim at billionaire and former presidential candidate Andrew Yang a day after a new poll showed Yang retaining his lead in the race for City Hall. This is a working-class city. This isn't a startup, Adams said, clearly referring to Yang. This is a city where the ruler had to be a laborer. Andrew Yang, for example, has never worked in his life. And you're not going to come to this city with the intention of ignoring the people who make it run. That will not be the case. Yang's campaign co-manager Chris Coffey defended the former presidential hopeful, painting Adams' rhetoric as divisive and inaccurate. In a text, Coffey wrote, "Andrew Yang has started and managed a business, created thousands of jobs, and run something larger than a small political office, unlike Eric." Coffey later claimed on Twitter that Adams had used hate speech, and that by using the sentence "people like," he was slamming Asian Americans, who have been the target of hate crimes in recent months. Adams spokesman Evan Thies retorted, claiming that Adams' original statement referred to people who fled the city during the pandemic, a common charge leveled at Yang, who had relocated to upstate New Paltz before announcing his mayoral bid in January. The brawl between Adams and Yang on Wednesday was likely the most heated so far in a campaign season that has seen its share of squabbles between candidates, but has been largely devoid of outright hostilities. 3 of the city's 5 most politically powerful labor unions have already endorsed Adams. The Hotel Trades Council of New York and Service Employees International Local 32BJ, which represents about 85,000 members in the city, are also supporting Adams' campaign. Yang has gained labor support as well, but not to the same extent. Both he and Wiley were backed by the Freelancers Union 2 weeks ago, but it lacks the political clout of unions like 1199 or DC 37. Unlike previous years, when a pandemic was not a major concern, This year's efforts will focus on a huge social media campaign, rather than door-knocking potential voters, according to Garrido. Thank you for watching. We help you stay up to date all the news hourly. Please subscribe our channel to follow up the latest one.